Welcome back. Over the course of its 150-year history, the Metro Atlanta Chamber has been the conduit through which businesses can voice their concerns and incite action on important legislative issues. And lately, it's been very busy. Atlanta's business landscape is experiencing a growth spurt, and much of that can be attributed to the behind-the-scenes efforts of the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce. From initiatives to expand export opportunities for local businesses to successfully pulling in brand name companies like Cricket Wireless and Mercedes, the Metro Atlanta Chamber serves as a catalyst for a more prosperous and vibrant region. Heading the chamber during this flurry of economic activity is President and CEO Hala Moddelmog, a seasoned executive. She brings with her more than 20 years of leadership experience from both the for-profit and the nonprofit sectors. And she's the subject of today's edition of Executive Profiles.
Hala Moddelmog, welcome.
Thank you, Ed. I'm glad to be here.
It's a total pleasure, and congratulations on your new position.
Thank you very much.
But we're going to go back.
Okay.
We're going to start on some of the former positions.
Okay.
Walk and talk us through your illustrious career, please.
Well, I think I better just start out with Church's Chicken, because that's really where I first had an opportunity to be in leadership, and I will always be grateful for that. I was in my 30s and was asked if I wanted to interview to be the president of Church's Chicken, and so I said, well, of course I do.
Talk about that experience a little bit more. Talk about where you took Church's to before we go on to the next step.
Well, Church's was a turnaround. I mean, it definitely was. It was a brand that, frankly, had not seen a lot of love in a number of years. So we did a reimage program with the buildings. We did a new logo. We did a whole new campaign.
So you took that success and you took that expertise and you then managed it where?
I went to Susan G. Komen for the Cure, and so I switched completely over into nonprofit. And one of the things that I often get asked is...
As the CEO.
As the CEO, exactly, in Dallas, Texas. And it was, again, just an honor and a privilege to get to do that job because the mission is clear, the mission is still needed, unfortunately.
So when you went to Susan Komen, what did you find and where did you take it?
Well, it was a great organization. Nancy Brinker is a great marketer, brand builder par excellence, and it was her sister. It was the promise she made to her sister. So in terms of engagement from women and the people who loved them, it was very, very high. We wanted to have pink on every shelf in the grocery store because we wanted two things. A, we needed to raise that money, and we raised about $65 million per year from corporate sponsors. And B, perhaps more importantly, we wanted to remind women when they were shopping every aisle of the way, get your mammogram, take care of yourself, understand about your own health.
You commuted.
Yes, I did, because I love Atlanta, and I had an apartment in Dallas, but my husband kept our home here. And
Steve learned to cook?
Steve learned to cook. He's a great cook. I mean, frankly, that's one of the reasons I've had such a great career, is because he's a good cook and I can go home and eat his food. But it's really important, frankly, now that I did decide to keep my home in Atlanta because, now the job that I'm in now, but I just could not leave Atlanta, really. And frankly, with Komen, I was all over the world. I've been to 34 countries, and a lot of those were with Komen. We were truly a global mission.
What were you most proud of at the Komen experience?
We put together a scientific advisory board, and it was made up with the physician scientists who are true rock stars in the field. These were men and women who were truly Renaissance people. They were smart beyond belief, but so dedicated to research. They could make a lot of money doing practice or potentially make a lot of money on a drug here or there, but they were doing it both because they cared about the cause.
Time to move back to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Time to go back into the quick service restaurant business.
Right.
Arby's.
Well, I was very fortunate. I mean, I just can't believe how lucky I was, because when I came back to Atlanta, I actually thought I might take a little breather, but lo and behold,
You never take breathers,
I try, but it didn't work out well. But the Arby's presidency role was open, and actually my husband read about it, probably in the Atlanta Business Chronicle, and said, "Do you realize that Arby's doesn't have a president?" And I'm like, really? So I just said to myself, I think I should go apply for that job. So I immediately got in touch with a headhunter and went, and the rest is history. I mean, I got the job. Arby's was also in a turnaround situation because Arby's had been disproportionately hurt during the downturn, the Great Recession. We kind of got it going there. We had 12 consecutive quarters of comp sales increases. We had phenomenal increases in our EBITDA. Our franchisees got back on their feet.
And now you're back to the nonprofit world.
Right.
And back to Atlanta, to the Metro Chamber.
Right.
Why?
The ability to get to be one of the biggest cheerleaders for this region, I just couldn't resist.
So how proud are you to be the first female executive in 154 years?
Yes, I'm pretty proud of that. And if you hadn't said 154, I would, because I think it bears saying.
Any sense of where you want to take the chamber?
Well, here's the good news, and one of the reasons that it was easy for me to make the decision to take the job is that I've inherited from the chamber a 5-year strategic plan, and it was put into place under Carol Tomei's chairmanship and working with the Boston Consulting Group. So, and I've worked with that group in the past, and so I knew there was a good foundation, and I knew a lot of work had been done. So my vision right now is to bring that strategic plan to fruition, and it's really pretty simple and pretty basic. People will understand it. It's about jobs, but it's about jobs and economic development in 3 ways: recruiting from out of town, growing what we have here, and nurturing startups and keeping them in this city. So we got 3 ways to grow jobs. Then we want to improve the quality of life, because the quality of life is in and of itself a good thing to do, and it brings jobs and economic development to this area. Then we have something working with business and higher education. That's a new platform. And then the last one is to tell our story. So my thanks to you for letting me tell that story.
Well, your career success is remarkable, and we have little doubt that this next experience won't be just another page in that same book. So congratulations to you.
The Metro Atlanta Chamber partnered with the Metro Atlanta Exchange, or MAX, to launch a workforce portal. Visitors can search a database of more than 500 workforce development organizations and service providers. The Chamber is also in the process of launching an open innovation forum. It'll provide a platform to help Atlanta companies define and solve their innovation needs. When we come back,